local judge facing disciplinary action because of a 7 Action News investigation that caught her slacking big time. You may have seen the story, and it turns out the State Judicial Tenure Commission was watching as well. Now they're taking action. So we'll go to 7 Action News investigator Scott Lewis joining us. And Scott, that undercover video you got really didn't leave much wiggle room.
Well, it sure didn't, Glenda. We had the goods on her, coming in late, leaving early, averaging about 4 hours a day or 5 sometimes. Not only was she shortchanging the taxpayer, she was wasting a lot of people's time, folks who were in her courtroom waiting and waiting and waiting for her to show up. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you some questions about your work hours. You're a little late, aren't you? Last November, the investigators had an unscheduled accountability session with Judge Sheila Gibson in the courthouse parking lot. We wanted to know why the Wayne County Juvenile Court judge making $140 grand a year was being paid for 8 hours a day but working only about 5 on most days. She was showing up for work up to 3 hours late, leaving people waiting in her courtroom. Lots of people, prosecutors, defense attorneys, clerks, social workers, parents and kids. She was also ducking out early. We had it all documented on our undercover video. We tailed Gibson for 5 days straight, and the longest day she put in was 5.5 hours. We got onto this outrageous routine after a tip from this dad, whose son was in front of the judge.
There's no accountability down there. And you know, I'm accountable, you're accountable. We all need to be accountable.
My mother passed, and her birthday was it's not a good day for me. It's really.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but your work hours are not standard. You're not working 8 hours a day. We've been watching, Your Honor. We have video to show it. The judge had no explanation for us, and she didn't have one either when the Judicial Tenure Commission came calling. Today, the commission released this decision and recommendation that'll be sent to the Michigan Supreme Court. It says Gibson negotiated a settlement agreement, essentially admitting to what we reported. It asked the court to publicly censure the judge. That's basically a reprimand and a permanent stain on her record. The commission report was based entirely on what we reported in our investigation last November. The commission found that Judge Gibson violated the Judicial Code of Conduct and noted that she had no regard for the value of time of other people who were in her courtroom. They said they hope this will remind other judges that punctuality is not just a matter of good etiquette and civil behavior, but good ethical behavior as well. Judge Gibson's attorney, Brian Einhorn, told us censure was something that she agreed to, and he said, this is not going to happen again.
Well, this is a recommendation from the Tenure Commission, but what about the Supreme Court? Will they accept this, you think?
They probably will. They could even go tougher, but in this case, since she didn't fight it, they probably won't, and we should have a decision within 2 months or so.
I'm sure you'll be on top of that story as well. Okay, Scott, thank you.